Hi, I'm Phyllis from the Doll Corner, and welcome back to my channel. And today I want to start a new series for beginner quilters, and give you a few tips that might help you start your journey. Because quilting is a lot of fun. You can have a lot of enjoyable hours quilting. So to start with, I want to show you one of the first things you want to practice is getting a 1/4 inch seam correct. And if you can sew a 1/4 inch seam, you're way ahead of the game. Now I don't have a 1/4 inch pressure foot for my machine, but I have used this one for a lot of years. It's well-used little foot. I put come up a little closer, maybe you can see better. I put my needle right on the left point here, right to the left of my machine. And then I guide my fabric right along here on this side of the pressure foot. Right in there. Now I also can put it over right where this little opening is. Not quite to the right side, but pretty close. And then I use the edge of my pressure foot as my guide. See, if I put right along there, that's where my white thread is. Oh, let's see, is that right? Or if I put it there, I use this part. And that works well for me. I also have another foot, and it works well too, but usually I just use that one. This is adjustable. I turn it there as far over as it'll go, and you can see it's got this little edge here. Put my needle to the left, and I just guide my fabric along there. So that's 3 options I have without a pressure foot and a 1/4 inch pressure foot. And next one is you want to make sure your fabric is cut straight. Now I have a little cutting mat here, and it's in metric. So to cut, I line it. First of all, I press my fabric, and then I line it up along the folded edge, right along a line. And I line this up along an edge, a line. And then I line that up like that. And I make sure it's straight along that edge. Then I cut that off. And then slide this over to the width I want. And that's my, oops. And you open it up to see if it's straight. And I think that's pretty good. Then I line I take 2 pieces and I line them up side by side, and I sew my 1/4 inch seam down. And then I press this open. I press this to the dark side, making sure I have no little folds in along here. And I press that open. I line it up again. And I want a square, so I'll measure out the distance that I need to go. And I cut one piece off. Well, I'll cut more. I'll cut the whole section up. But this, I cut one piece off, and that will give me, I line those, let's see. I line my edges up, one side down. And being as I've got it pressed to the dark side, then I want those lines to match up exactly. Right there. And I stick a pin in here, right at that point. And then stitch my 1/4 inch seam along there. And when you line it up, you should line it up so that this is straight along here and this is straight along here. Because if you have this wonky, say you have it lined up, you think it's lined up along here, but you have it a little wonky like this, it's not going to come out right. So you want to make sure this is straight along here and this is lined up straight along here. And then you come out with a 4 patch. Now this one, you want this one you can really see how the center point there, and you want those to be all lined up nice and to a point. And this one came out pretty good too. Now that's what you call a 4 patch, and there are been thousands and thousands of quilts made with 4 patches. So if once you can make a 4 patch, you can make a quilt. Now you might want to put a sashing around it. You might want to make your squares larger or smaller. It's whatever size of quilt you're making or whatever size of blocks you would like to make. Then you go from there. If you want to make a 9 patch, there's a 9 patch. Now to make a 9 patch, I wouldn't make it that way. I would make strip sets. A strip set like this with 2 plain and a colored. And I'd make a strip set with 2 darks and a light. Okay, here's a piece. These were, okay, this is one strip set. And this is your other strip set. So you put those, you sew those together, and then you sew this together. If that was cut off, that would give you your 9 patch. And then you can put borders around them. So once you could make a 4 patch, you can make a 9 patch very easily. And they go together nicely. You just have to remember, if you cut it straight and you sew it straight, it's going to come out pretty good. And that's the secret. Practice sewing a 1/4 inch seam before you start. And once you've got your 1/4 inch seam and your fabric straight, it'll be pretty easy. So the next one I'm going to show you is how to make a log cabin. And it's one of the easier quilts to make, blocks to make as well. So just subscribe to my channel and touch the bell and you'll get a notice when my next video is coming out. And check out my Etsy shop for my basic doll patterns. And thanks for watching. Bye now.